name is Luna, and you're listening to Infinite Souls, a podcast for that real talk about consciousness, spirituality, and realizing our infinite potential. Mucho, mucho love and light. Hello, Infinite Souls. How are y'all doing? Welcome to another podcast episode. I'm so excited today to have Cami on with me. Say hello to the people.
Hello, the people. Hola, la gente.
To la gente. ¿Cómo está la gente? Oh, amazing. I love that we got the Spanish in here. Vamos a ver. Me gusta. That's what we need. We need to do a podcast in Spanish.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right. So why don't you, I met Cami online, I meet a lot of people, and I believe it was through TikTok, through the community that I joined, Brandon and their shifters. So that's an amazing community that I got to be a part of, and I grew a lot of following and a lot of friends through the process. And so I'm really happy that I got to meet Cami, and she's very, very amazing soul, and I'm happy to have her here. So why don't you introduce yourself to the infinite souls out there and let them know a little bit about you.
So hello, I am Cami Bruce. I've been signing as Cami Luminous. So that's another way to find me. I am a spiritual coach and photographer. And I help women reconnect to their inner goddess through photography and self-healing. So it's a beautiful process where like artistic tools meet spiritual tools and kind of combine and merge. And so you can literally seeing photography yourself as a work of art, like this beautiful goddess, which is like the I don't know, like the ending of this, or not the ending because there's never an ending, but it's like this reminder of this strength and this all these processes you've gone through to become like this amazing goddess self that you really are and that you're embodying and allowing to become from spirit. So so exciting and beautiful.
So you hold retreats. Where was your last retreat, or are you having one?
I did my first retreat in Crestone, and that's very close to the sand dunes in Colorado.
Ooh.
And that was in August last year. Wow. So
wow. Time flies.
right. And
time isn't real. I mean, we can go back and forth.
and yeah, no, and our perception of it, like seriously, like that, what they say about like if you're having fun, it goes faster, and if you're, you know, bored, it goes slow. It's pretty much in your perception.
Exactly.
Yeah. But anyways, so the retreat was amazing. It was challenging. It was a lot of breakthroughs, a lot of inner work, a lot of bonding, a lot of sisterhood, a lot of learning and just expansion. I feel like it was a lot of expansion. And this, like, I had never been like in a sisterhood or a community where we did the work together. Like, it's beautiful when you really know that you have people to hold space for you and to nourish you, and as well as you are doing it for yourself. at the same time, and you're like this beacon of compassion, and you become this like vessel for really holding love and compassion for the other and for yourself, and to get in touch with your body. And I just love that community, like that, knowing that you have the support and that you're not alone in this process, and you're not going crazy.
That there are other crazies out there.
It's, you know, you just feel so out of place sometimes, and
Yeah.
just finding like your tribe and your girls.
I
So
understand.
important.
That's beautiful. That's wonderful. Yeah, I was part of a retreat last year, I think too. It was also fucking amazing, so bonding, like just the level of emotional bonding that happened, and openness, vulnerability, non-judgment, compassion, being able to hold each other, just like sisterhood. Yeah, it was amazing. High vibes. So I love that. I love that you do retreats. Yes, we should link up for sure on
Oh
something like
yeah.
if you ever want something like
I
people
really
want.
loved your, yeah, what I saw about your retreat. Um, yeah, it looked amazing. It looked
Oh my god, it was so much fun. It was fun.
It's fun that
Okay.
you do photography and I do photography. Like, that's a thing that I feel like we have is a little different from other retreats, and that's a huge part of my retreats is you get an oracle reading, a channeled reading from yours truly. And so the energy of the goddess that comes through for you is what inspires me to do your shoot. So it's it's very empowering. Like you get to literally like really feel, or at least dress up as, you know, this person that you can be, and like it really helps you see from a different perspective, and it changes your view of yourself a little bit. And so it's also constant reminder of like, ooh, holy shit, that is me. Like that is me. That's like
Yes.
usually the reaction I get from my clients is like, what the fuck? Like that's really that's me.
Yes.
And so to me, it's just that really like that mirror, like, hey, you can be this, like you can embody it, you can embody it. So it's very important uh,
Yeah.
to do that, and just to allow yourself to be seen, because being in front of a camera, and nowadays everything is video, everything is, you know, so visual,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just a very nice way to break through the ice and break through that, like a little bit going into what we're going to talk about, like that programmed belief that you have to look a certain way to be in front of the camera, that you have to be a certain way to be in front of the camera, or to it. So it, the camera is just kind of a reflection of everybody else, like anybody that you talk to, anybody that you interact with, like you're just putting on like a face to interact. And
Yeah.
like this allows you to take that mask off and actually, hey, I can see myself like truly through this camera first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Yeah. I love that. So you do the oracle reading, and then that's you channel the goddess that is coming through for that person. And I'm sure that goddess has a message for them too.
oh,
So
absolutely. So
oh,
this is an in-depth reading. Like it's a 5 card, and that last card is like your resolution. So you go through all the process to come to this embodiment of this goddess who's coming through for you. But you have to go through the steps first.
yeah.
You have to go through the process first of
Ooh, I know when you talk about it, I get chills. I love it. I love it. I
Yay.
feel your passion for it. Yeah, I freaking love it. All right. So I have an icebreaker question for you. I ask everybody who's on. Okay. So are you ready?
Yes.
All right. What are you grateful for?
I am grateful that I get to do this. I am grateful that I get to co-create while creating myself at the same time. That's like a miraculous thing to be able to experience right now. And I'm grateful to be able to co-create, like this right now, what we're doing right now is part of that. So I'm so thankful to be in spaces like this, like, and to be able to create them together. And yeah.
Yes, me encanta. I love it. I freaking love it. Oh my God.
Yay.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm grateful for this connection. Obviously, I'm grateful that technology exists, that I'm able to use it, and that it's working properly. I'm grateful for water. Oh my God, I'm so grateful. Anyway, so let's get into today's interview. Yes, water is so underrated. Honestly, like water's power. Water is freaking power. Program your water before you drink it. Make sure. Hold on, let me drink.
Yeah.
So what I want to ask you, Cami, what got you into the things that you're into, like spiritual, mystical, occult type of things?
The good stuff.
The good stuff, the interesting stuff.
So I think I was exposed
Mm.
very early, like I don't know, like at 16, I would say. My best friend's mom does Reiki, and so she, like, it was just it showed me a different perspective of a lot of things. And that was at a time when, so I was raised a Catholic, and we'll go into that. But it really opened up a different avenue for me. And at that time, I was just having like this war with religion. And I was like mainly with the church, like the church itself. Um, and so I refused to go into any church. And my high school was Catholic. And so church was like or mass was a subject. Like it was in the schedule, like it was a time slot on Wednesdays, every Wednesday at it was 10 a.m. We would all go to mass, the whole school. And so I rebelled, and I told my religion teacher, because we had religion as a subject as well. I told her, hey, I can't, I don't want to go in there. And so with Reiki, like being introduced into my life, like my best friend was very different than, and so we were seen as like the black sheep, and we were like misleading and being bad. But like it was a beautiful relationship with my religion teacher, and she actually allowed me to skip it and like do other things instead. And later on, my dad had also gone through a lot of weird things through his life. Like he's been a channel all his life. And I mean, when I was in my teens and that part of my life, I hadn't noticed, and I never noticed. I just thought his stories were like crazy. And um but anyways, like later on, like in my 20s, my brother started doing things with the indigenous people. And yeah, like I was splashed throughout my life with different perspectives, and like I was able to see more of like from that rooted perspective of the indigenous people being connected to the earth so much. Um and how that was like a gate or a portal to other dimensions and other states of being and other states of consciousness. And um, it made sense in a lot of ways to me. And it was also very beautiful to see that they believe in God like so much. Like it's and then so all of this, say my grandma on my mom's side, she was super hyper Catholic. And so from that side I had all this very structured and like bonding and martyr and victim and things programmed in my being. And so to her a lot of the other stuff was crazy, but then when my brother started introducing this through music, because we're all musicians in my family, um she started seeing that all these songs were about love and about sharing and about, being in balance and being so she started seeing this whole new
Wow.
uh perspective of how the indigenous saw things. And um I don't know, it was, and that's from my perspective, like it, maybe she was in a whole different trip, but that's the way, that's how I saw or perceived it. And so, because yeah, I didn't want to get confirmed. I fought my whole life with her about religion, and she was I feel like she was a challenge, like a very important part in my life for that, like breaking through that. And her own process of like combining these two worlds of like her, she would live for the Virgin Mary, and like it was her whole life, and Jesus, and then combining it with this whole other beautiful
Yeah.
openness.
Mm-hmm.
So when yeah, later on I just dove deep into it when COVID came. So I had all this like mini awakenings and dark nights of the soul, but I was just not aware of what was going on. Like I had no idea. I just wasn't aware. So with COVID, I was like, holy shit, yeah, no. And now I go through my old songs and old things that I have, and it's like, holy fuck, like I was really like I was so woke, but not awake, you know?
Yeah, so woke.
So woke,
Yeah, ya
but I was
sabía.
not digesting.
You're, it was already in your nature, like most people that realize that it's always been with us, it's always in there.
It's beautiful.
Oh, wow. But that's amazing that you got to get exposed to it so early, because most people aren't exposed to it early on. Most people don't, like, quote unquote wake up, if you want to call it that, until later on in life. As far like I did in 2015, when I call my awakening. But my whole life I always had a very deep connection with the spiritual realm and with God, so, or whatever you want to call God, universe, source, spirit. Now I know that it goes by any name, really it's just energy, love. Oh my God. But I love that story. And I love how you shared about your brother, how he kind of opened up a new perspectives for your mom through music, because music is so healing. That's so freaking amazing that he got to do that for your mom. And do you write music too?
Yeah, definitely. So it was mainly my grandma. My mom's a lot more open, actually. But yeah, my brother, I write music, my brother writes music, my dad writes music, my mom. So my mom's a music teacher, um, or was until she just retired last year. Um, and I taught my brother how to play the guitar, and now he's like this jazz musician. Like,
Wow.
and I
Yeah.
always had this thing where I can't play and sing at the same time. I
Oh,
don't
I don't know how they
coordinate.
do it. Oh my God, I want to learn.
I can like, and so I can record the guitar, and then I record the voice, and then like I'll do the different things, but I can't do at the same time. It's, maybe I haven't tried it in a while.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you on that. No comment on that, because I make songs, but I
Oh,
don't
but I
play them.
love what you've been creating. It's
Oh,
so
thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited for the new project. So that's on my mind heavily. So let's see. I want to talk about religious upbringing. So you grew up in Colombia and you were exposed to this energy healing over there. Um, now you were in Catholic school, you said, so it was very religious for you. Yeah. So breaking out of the societal matrix, right? Has been controlled through religion for the most part, primarily, I feel. So what how did you break through those constructs? Like how did you, quote unquote, break out of the matrix?
I would say it's a work in progress.
Oh my God, I know, like
Like
everything.
I'm still like, there's days when I'm like, oh, I'm over it, and then there's days when I'm like, fuck, I'm so burdened. Like it's actually, I just got off my therapy today, like with my coach, and yeah, like it's this process of learning that society made us look for everything externally. Like since you're a baby, like you are detached from your soul. You are taught on how to look outside for everything. And so you rely on people, you have to be this certain kind of person or being so that you can actually go and rely on people. And then you also need to rely on all these material things, and in order for that to happen, and you have to have this amount of money for getting all the material things, and everything rolls around like, and it also like cages you into this, like the roles. So you since you're born, it's like, okay, you're a woman, you're Latina, you're this, like it's, you become a cliche or a statistic or whatever, so you become
Yeah.
caged and boxed. And so
Mhm.
you feel like you have all these burdens and all these bondages, like regarding how you're supposed to look, how you're supposed to act, how you're supposed to be, like what you can or can't achieve, uh, how you're supposed to dress, everything is absolutely programmed. And so religion, as you say, has been like, when religion came and took over like all the paganist rituals and like disguised everything as what we know now as Christmas and all the celebrations. And Anyways, they condemned women because all before them, like, it was normal to be inherently feminine and masculine and celebrate both sides, the light and the dark. And there was a lot less control over like power, and like, this mentality was to like, we need to control the masses.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
and so like they demonized everything that was free, and like, you get to choose and you get to have your sovereignty and you get to have your freedom. It's like, no, no, no. You can't do that. You can't be like, you're free to a certain degree, but we get to control you. So we slowly but surely, since you're a baby, bombard with bombard you with all these things like school is very programming, um everything, TV, um the food you eat,
Mm-hmm.
everything. So
Yeah.
it's so hard, and I get it, like, it's so intense going through a process where you trust what you want and what you need and what your body is telling you, because since you're little, like, you've been taught to, that's wrong. Like, since you're little, like, if you want to cry because something is going on,
Yeah.
shut up, like, don't do that, don't cry. Like, you're not allowed to feel, like, you really, as a baby, you can't
Yeah.
process because you're driving the adults crazy. And so,
Uh,
since you're a baby, you're being conditioned to tell. So what's your response later? Hey, when you want to cry, you unconsciously are telling yourself that's wrong. Mm-mm, shut up. Hey,
mm-hmm.
be a good boy, or be a good girl and smile. So it's really, when you come into this awareness and you start like trusting, is so weird. And it's so hard, but
Yeah.
but you start like trusting the position you're being put in, and how it's teaching you or how it's showing you to flip things. Like, so if you feel like something is right, even though the circumstances are crazy around you, it's like that knowingness of, hey, it'll work itself out. You let
Mm-hmm.
go of that wanting to control, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
The illusion of control, is because a lot, some of the time we don't have, we don't have full control. We're co-creating, it's a co-creation process. And so your your beliefs change from what your parents, what are they, Catholic?
They were both raised Catholic. I'd say my dad is definitely not anymore. Like, he's been through Christianity, Buddhism, like, he's been all over the map. And like zealot, like, like, he's been in very extreme religions and very
Mm-hmm.
crazy. And so he has come back to that. I feel like we're in the same, you know, process right now. Like, we're on
Are
this,
you both going through an awakening?
yeah. And I mean, yeah, no, so I wouldn't say he's a Catholic now. My mom, she is definitely believes in church and all that, but she's also very open and very open-minded about a lot of things, and she's actually the reason why I got into tarot and why I started to talk to my angels. She always talks to her guardian angels, and I mean, because of my grandma, she's like the Virgin Mary, and like she really believes in power beyond.
Oh, yeah. So she's open-minded.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's religious for sure. And so, but yeah, it's like my whole life it's not been that, like I've been allowed to explore and because my parents are artists and they have
Mm-hmm.
that more, although my mom
Yeah.
was very, because of
Yeah.
the Catholics thing, she was very strict as well.
Yeah, because
With
that's kind of
punishing and stuff.
they're opposing each other, right? Like the Catholic, so like the society's wanting you to be Catholic, right? Like to confine your artisticness, even, because it also tones down your creativity. I feel like, I mean, I know, I mean, no, you can be creative. It's just your personal expression is what I mean. Like your own personal expression that you want to be. You feel bad to do it because somebody's telling you that it's bad. And so yeah, I understand that's definitely something that a lot of people have to move through because most of society obviously is primarily Catholic Christian, because of everything in history that we already know.
Right, right.
Yeah. So what kind of healing practices do you practice? Do you do for
So
yourself?
I give Reiki. I'm a Reiki master of Holy Fire. I am a spiritual coach. I'm a certified spiritual coach, specifically angelic. And so I work with the angels a lot, a lot, a lot. Like
Oh,
it's like
nice.
my homies. And so I do that, and I channel. I'm kind of like a vessel for channeling messages, and so I do readings. I sometimes just channel like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think photos are the big part that I told you about. So
Yeah.
that's a big part of like healing as well.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All of art is healing. Yes. Um, dang, I wanted to ask you something, but I forgot. What was it? Something that you said that the angels. How do you connect with your angels? I mean, I know there's many ways that people do connect with their angels or guides. Um, so how do you do it?
So they mainly send me visions. Uh, when I started, like the first year of COVID, 2020, was it? Yes,
Yeah, that 1 year.
2020. That was when I was like, poof, like really awakened. And I did that through a meditation that incorporates the Ho'oponopono. And why was I telling you all this? I
Oh,
lost my train of thought.
yeah.
Oh, my awakening. So, anyways, I did this thing, and so my angels came. So the communication thing, my angels told me, hey, like you've always had a lot of creative images in your head, and you think it's just your imagination, but pay attention because these are messages. Like, really, these are messages. These are things that either you're like seeing from other dimensions or you're seeing into the future, or yeah, like it's pay attention.
Mhm.
And eventually they also started showing me synchronicities, like numbers, repeating numbers, and now I know like all of the it's like ridiculous. Like some days I'll see 444 17 times, 20 times. It's like crazy. Like and my phone is like I have like 100 opened, like different angel numbers because I look them up. And so I know like the meaning, the basic meaning of some numbers and stuff. And so when you combine, like it's kind of like you put two and two together and you know what the message is. But
Yeah.
sometimes not. So sometimes I'll just look it up. So that's another way. Another way is they like reflections. It's crazy. Like I have pictures, like symbols, like they will send me symbols in light, like in they're crazy. Like there's ones it was like the shape of a fairy, like flying.
Oh.
Crazy. Like I kept looking, and the weird thing is
In
like
a picture?
I have pictures, yes.
Oh no, but you saw it visually in the light.
Yeah, like it's like when something reflects off of something, but then
Um,
I'll go look and
through,
there's no way these and the reflections sometimes change place
yeah,
because light is
yeah,
usually the same, you know, every day and it
yeah,
reflects the same, but they will change.
yeah. Well, mirrors are portals, so you could be seeing into another into another
It's
dimension.
crazy, but yeah, I mean, like Metatron is like super present with me, and he
Oh,
sends me all the sacred geometry, like a lot. He sends me a
oh
lot of sacred
wow.
geometry. Even in nature, I'll see, you know, symbols and things. So yeah,
Uh,
there's all these things before. I just didn't make any of it until they told me like just pay attention to all of those things.
yeah. Yeah, you were just getting your messages through your dreams. Yeah. That's cool. So you already have, you have your abilities. My mom actually, she dreams things too. She has dreams, and I remember when I was a little girl, she always used to see ghosts everywhere we lived. She always used to see spirits. And so I was exposed to paranormal stuff really early on, like as a little girl. So I was always into all that cool shit. So I feel you.
Right.
um, is there anything else that you want to talk about, Gami, that we didn't talk about already?
So I don't know if I actually answered the question when you asked me. So how to get through like and break through the matrix is I feel like awareness is the key to it. Pretty much just being aware of where your belief and behavior is coming from. Is it really coming from that programmed shit that you've been, you know, exposed to,
Mm-hmm.
or is it coming from your like your own knowing? Like it's like when you go into a room and you sense somebody's energy, like or like you feel like, hey, I'm not supposed to be here. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's like when you start to connect to, like, instead of shutting yourself out of like your ego telling you no 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 it's fine, like just do the thing and you know whatever, really listen to that like gut feeling. The gut feeling is your higher self, your heart, your whatever. And I feel like definitely going back to that playfulness and that heart space where you create with joy and not out of fear, like, and that's my main where what I go back to. Am I doing it out of fear or am I doing it out of joy and love and compassion and excitement? And or is it really like fear? Because programming usually works with fear-based
Mm-hmm.
anything. So that would be like my main. I think that the thing that I've realized that it's been major in my life to break through that. Um, all the limiting beliefs and all the shit about my body and how I'm supposed to look like when I show up for the world, all the expectations I put on myself and I put on others, like for things to unfold a certain way. Like I just take off all of those burdens because like I come back to that realization that I get to choose and create from the space I want to.
Yeah.
If I want to burden myself, I can choose to do so. If I don't, I can just allow the flow to be and let things unfold and without trying to control them. So control is a huge part of it. Just letting go of that fear of letting go of control.
So if someone listening were to ask you to define what's the definition of the matrix, well, how would you define the matrix? Like, what is the matrix?
So in the perspective of programming, like in a negative way, I'd say the matrix is fear-based culture. And that's what pretty much sums it up.
Mhm. Yes, yeah, you can't even, yeah, you know what? I couldn't have said it better myself.
Really, like
True.
it's control of everything through fear.
Wow, yeah.
How you show up, how you don't show up, how you
Mhm.
love, how you don't love, how you dress, how you don't dress.
Yeah, it's
Everything
all
is about fear. How
fear
is
and
people gonna
control, fear and control, right?
yeah, control.
Oh man, wow. That's great. Yeah, so that's wonderful tips of how to break out of the matrix. Um Now, if I just want to ask one more thing, if someone is trying to unlearn religious constructs that they have from their upbringing, maybe they were in Catholic school or something, what advice would you give to them of what they can do to help with that? Because that's a whole nother, like, that is I mean, that's part of the matrix, but it's a whole entity on its own, I feel. You know what I mean?
It is. It is so, and it's so deeply rooted. Like it's like a vine. It's not like this thing that you can just pull out. You have to like unmesh it, like
Yeah.
undo it. There's so many entanglements to it. Yeah, like a whole being, like you say.
Yeah.
Oh, so I would say, so one, again, trusting your gut. Like that, just that example of me going like against the whole fucking school system and telling them, hey, I don't care if you flunk me. I'm not gonna be pushed to go into this place and listen to this person on something that I don't agree with. I just can't. That's your gut.
Uh,
That's your knowing, like that's following your gut.
mhm.
And and,
And
and
kids are
that's
so
like,
able to do that.
sorry?
Yeah, no, sorry to cut you off. Kids are when you were a kid, so because kids are so able to do that much easier than adults are. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And that's
Yeah.
but the thing is, you follow the rules. You have to follow the rules. So it's so, yeah, I remember my friends being, oh, she's just showing like doing or putting a tantrum on or however you say that, like, she's just trying to get attention and all this. It's like, no, I'm just trying to fucking find my
Yeah.
way, like this is just not, I don't
Yeah.
know. So my advice would be just again, just listen to that. And that's a different kind of fear. That's more of a like a fear of going something against something that like it's the law or the right or whatever, but in your God you're like, no, I'm not down with this. Like this is not okay. So that's a different kind of fear of like, okay, I'll break through this. It's a good fear. That's a fear that you need to like face and overcome. But a fear like the other type of fear is like that bully or that, I mean, in the end, it's the same fear, but it's like something that you're willing to break through as opposed to bend the knee to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely listening to your inner voice. Your inner voice is your guidance system. It's there for a reason. It's your intuition. It's like, think of it like a compass, and it's telling you which way to go, and it's up to you. You gotta choose to walk in that direction. You know what I mean?
and get used to it because you've always looked for the external.
Yeah, and and since you are going against what society is going, obviously it's not going to be like super fucking easy all the time, because you're going kind of against the grain a little bit, at the beginning, and then you start to get into flow, because the universe is always supporting you, like always, even in your transition stage too, so just believing that you have the support of the universe, and that you're believing your inner guidance system is not going to lead you wrong, because that's where God lives. God, our spirit source, universe, lives inside of you too. So that's amazing advice. Thank you so much. I would like for you to share with everyone your social media handles so they can go and follow you if they want. Yes.
So Instagram is luminous by CB. Or no. Sorry. I'm sorry. I have like 3 different ones. So it's luminous by Camila Bruce. So it's my full name for Instagram. And then TikTok, I think I'm Cami Luminous. And what's the other one? I think that's it. And my website is luminous by CB. So my initials.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. I'll go ahead and I'll put them in the description box.
Yay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, I'll put them in the description box. And as always, thank you for being here. I had a great time chatting it up with you. And until next time, excuse me, until next time, mucho love and light. Ciao.
Ciao.